a shot to do what? I'm on every watch list on the Dave & Buster's on the East Coast. On this episode, a lot to talk about. Wild Week 11. Historic Week 11. And me and Bert have some apologies to make. Find out who that's to and more. Next. Sport. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Stuff About Sports. I am the Facebook felon Jerm. That is the prettier Corey Bert. And we are presented by the Give Us a Shot Network. We're powered by Fast Break Coffee, and we're sponsored, as always, by the haters. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the first timers, last timers, long timers. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. If you can't do any one of those things, I am inclined to believe you are a hater. And you'll let Caleb Williams paint your nails. Speaking of the hate watchers, all you Bears fans coming in my comments acting like you guys won the Super Bowl just because Caleb Williams allowed his special teams players to win the game for him. Like, that is the most fraudulent 7-3 I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not going to talk too much Bears today, but I just wanted to let that known. You're commenting on posts that are a month old. Oh, what do you think now? What do we think now? I think you guys were about to lose until you had a 70-yard kickoff return and your kicker decided to kick a 50-yard field goal. So, I mean, shut the fuck up. All right, so, Bert, we have Bucket of Doom business.
Yes.
I don't have the records in front of me, so I'll get to that later. We'll just pick the helmets and we'll figure all that later. I keep losing the post-it note. I think the troll that lives in Mike Powers' basement keeps stealing it.
Oh, easily.
But we are heading to week 12? Is that week? Oh my gosh.
I know. It's insane.
Bert, New York Jets. Starting Tyrod Taylor. I'm sure you're going to throw that back.
I will. Let's see what the rest comes out first, though.
Corey. The Titans. Dwayne Marcus. The Washington racial slurs. Me. The Buffalo Bills. Yeah. Team of destiny, they say. History makers. Oh my gosh. And the Falcons. Imagine that.
Yeah.
The Falcons beat the Bills and then have lost 5 straight since then. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that fucking what kind of luck is that? Who's after me? Carl. The New England Patriots. Best team in the AFC East, they say. Mike Powers. The Baltimore Ravens.
I'm sorry, Carl got the Pats?
Carl got the Pats.
Okay. Powers got the Ravens.
Yep. And Ty, the New York Football Giants.
Mike the Ravens. Ty with the Giants.
Are you going to throw yours back?
I'm throwing my back.
It's the Jets.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Goddamn Jet.
Yep.
All right. Your new team? Sorry, bud. The Shador Sanders-led Cleveland Browns. Not much better.
Yikes.
Not much better, bud.
All right. Well, so far, Dwayne Marcus has the automatic win because Commanders are on a bye in week 12.
Nice.
Damn, I was really hoping for another bye week team, but can't get much worse than that. Let's see if the crew decides to throw anybody back. My text is out there.
All right. We'll get to those boys and we'll figure out what is what. While they do that, let's get started with the recap of NFL Week 11, which is actually, when you look at the games, they're actually a pretty good slate. So, but let's get started with the good, bad, and fugly. Why don't you give us your good?
You have to go with the obvious pick here, and that's because Josh Allen's out here collecting touchdowns like they're infinity stones, 6 of them to be exact, 3 by air, 3 by foot. Only quarterback in NFL history to do it. He took that Dolphins game personally went back in the locker room and said, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'll do this shit myself next week, and went out and did it.
Yeah.
Listen, a little bit of a rough start,
No.
a little bit of doubt. I could see it in your eyes, but honestly, they came back, came correct, and got it done. He came back, came correct, and got it done. I can't even, say the rest of the team in itself, but man, what a performance! Still 2 picks on the day, but I mean, I think he's more than made up for it, and that's what you want to see out of a quarterback like that.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely had the sliders up. He played like a creative player. That is also obviously my good. Like when you're talking about the Bills, with all the deficiencies, a couple of bad losses, 7-3, looking up at a team, and honestly, it feels weird because I feel like if the Patriots weren't as good as they are, I don't think anybody would be talking as negatively about the Bills,
Yeah,
as they are. I think there's a little bit of panic, but the reality is, they can easily still win this division. They're not that far back. Like this is not the Chiefs and the Broncos situation, right? Another team that could have gotten the good in terms of Denver kind of putting their stamp on that AFC West, and we'll get to them in a second. But Josh Allen, like you said, rough start, settled in. I mean, if you're a list of one in history, I mean,
it's a pretty good list.
This is what I was talking about in terms of when people like to bring in things that don't really matter when you rank the quarterbacks. When you talk about, oh, this guy has outperformed this guy and this guy hasn't won in this position. How many Super Bowls does he have? Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL. I mean, enough. What are you talking about? How much history does he have to make single-handedly for you guys to admit that? Like at the height of his powers, he's just simply better. And it's not about accolades. And that's the confusion these people have. You're confusing accolades with tangibles, with talent. Josh Allen can stiff arm Aaron Donald. How many other quarterbacks do you think he can do that? And if you can name one, how many of them can also hurdle linebackers? And if they can do that, how many can just run through 7 or 8 defenders and score touchdowns from the 20-yard line? And then he can somehow do all that. Can he throw 50 yards on a rope against the wind in 24-mile-per-hour winds to Tyrell Shavers in the corner of the end zone? How many quarterbacks can do all those things? The answer is one, period. And again, that's not saying that I'm not taking anything from the guys like Patrick Mahomes or some of these other guys that you consider like Lamar Jackson. I'm saying Josh Allen can do everything they can do, and not one of them can do what Josh Allen can do. That's the point I make when it comes to Josh Allen. Yes, that hero ball shit he likes to do, it's out of control sometimes, but that's the gift and the curse. Like that end zone interception that he kind of just shoveled out there because the pass protection broke down. I get it, man. Like you're going to get those things, but you're going to get those things because he's so great that he's always thinking that he can make it happen. On top of that, he tied Cam Newton for 75 rushing touchdowns in his career. He already has the record total because this is only the regular season. If you combine the postseason, he already has the most. And again, 317 passing yards, 40 yards. That's 360 yards of total offense because of Josh Allen. And I'll take the boneheaded plays. I'll take the, oh my God, Josh Allen, that was a bad throw. Okay. Pick one of his other 36 throws that he made that were amazing. Like, it's just, you can't be perfect. But if you're going to give me 6 touchdowns, I'll take that as a good. Yes, they got torched on the defensive end by their third string running back. That's not going to be great come playoff time. But you have to remember they're missing 3 players off of that defensive line, 3 starters. One of them's not coming back. Michael Hoyt tore his ACL or his Achilles or something like that, so he won't be back. But Ed Oliver should be back in the next 2-3 weeks, and then Shaq Thompson should be back next week. So the Bills' run defense will be okay. I'm not going to say those guys will make them elite again, but they won't get gashed like that going down the stretch, I don't think. But yeah, 100%. The good is 100% Josh Allen this week.
You want to talk about bad run defense? Let's move into the bad and talk about the Chargers. Oh my God, did they get absolutely walloped by the Jags this past week? And I don't know how you can look at another, unless you want to look at individual performances for your bad this week, which some of them might come up with 2 quarterbacks that are on my mind. But, when looking at not I gave one of those a fugly because it did cost them the game. But when I look at my bad this week, I couldn't look further than this game. Their run defense absolutely collapsed, allowing for what was it, 4 on the ground, like almost
Mhm.
200 yards rushing. I mean, look, hats off to the Jags, but this was arguably the worst performance under Harbaugh that the Chargers had. Time of possession was horrid. They allowed 345 yards of total offense, and they couldn't get anything going on their offensive side too. Justin Herbert looked completely out of sync. He looked like he couldn't get into a rhythm whatsoever. They finished with just 81 yards. Yeah, passing, absolutely insane. For a competitive team that now dropped to 7-4, you just expect more out of them. Good for the Jags. Could have put them in the good category too. But
Yeah.
man, the Chargers, this is one of those games you look at them and you say, is this another collapse here?
I do know that's why the Chargers were actually my fugly, so I'll switch them to my bad and agree with you in terms of um, how they played. Like it's the thing about the Chargers are every single year we're always asking that like philosophical question,
Yeah.
like is this a bit? Like, are
Is
they doing this on purpose? Like,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah, yes, other teams lost in week 11, and the team that I switched with, which are the Seahawks, specifically Sam Darnold, who's now going to get my ugly.
Yeah.
But like you're talking like triple double bad quarterbacking. Like I'm talking the Chargers. Again, we can handle losing. We don't teams
Yeah.
aren't going to go undefeated. And I say this a lot with my Bills. I don't care about losing. I care about how they lost.
Yeah.
And the process for the Chargers was like forehead slapping, eye rolling, like, and to go to a team or to lose like that to a team in Jacksonville that lately has just been sputtering on their own. It's you go up, you get blown out 35-6.
Mhm.
That like when I saw that come across the red zone, I had to go check my phone to double check to make sure that was a real score. I said, oh, they're playing Madden on TV. This isn't like a real, this is the Chargers. Like this is the AFC West favorite team. This was an AFC favorite team at one point in the season. And they're getting dogged by Trevor Lawrence and the Jags.
Yeah.
Their total offense, Bert, 143 yards. Think about that. The Jags ran for 192 yards, and that's just running.
Yeah.
So I think Justin Herbert got hurt in that game, I think, but yeah, I don't know if he's going to be out like for any extended period of time. Yes, there's a lot of injuries. Like when Joe Alt went down for them, everybody kind of was like, "Oh, we'll see what the Chargers." But I like for a team that needed to keep pace in a division that should say, as open as it's been, and you had a real chance to like kind of take that step forward, and they crumbled, and it was jarring. It was jarring to see the Chargers go out like that.
Yeah, I mean, look, say what you want about Justin Herbert getting injured. I was just looking to see if there was an update. I haven't seen one since, but look, it also happened late in the game, so it doesn't excuse the almost. I mean, at that point, I think almost 21 unanswered points that coming out in the second half, the Jags just completely dominated. Yeah, I can't find an update in terms of what it was. He just took that bad hit, went to the tent, and that was that in the fourth. So we'll see. We'll see if this affects next week, or maybe it was just a decision. Hey, it's not that bad, but you know what? We're getting walloped. May as well just hang out. We're not winning this one.
Yeah, it sucks though because it's like every time the Chargers got us believing, hey, this is the year, right?
Yeah.
They can get the wild card still, but they had a shot to win the division. That's probably gone now. But to lay this gigantic steaming egg after like they just remembered, oh wait, we're gonna Charger this thing up. They weren't the Los Angeles Chargers, they were the San Diego Chargers. That's how bad they were. They went back to being the San Diego Chargers. They just like like just not losing the game, just like their entire vibe, the argument that they could be taken as a serious football team. The
Mhm.
Jags took their dignity. Like that's, I mean, if I would say the biggest loser in Week 11, if we were doing that segment, 100% would be the Chargers because they had a lot to lose. I mean, there was other bad losses, but in
Mhm.
terms of where we thought the Chargers were going,
Mhm.
or where they fooled us into thinking they were going, to come out
Mhm.
like this is totally unacceptable.
Easily,
Um,
yeah.
what you got for Fugly?
I think it's the same. I think we're in perfect lockstep this week, and we don't talk about this before we start the show. But my fugly is Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
You can't throw a 4 interception day and let the game get away from you. It. There's no other explanation as to how Seattle couldn't close out, other than the fact that their quarterback is throwing picks left and right. And this was a close game too. You hate to see it. That what an arc Sam Darnold has had from Jets, Minnesota, and now back to Seattle. But it seems like he's unfortunately back to his old ways, and hopefully has a bounce back for next week. But man, tough outing for him. He has to get my fugly because this ultimately cost Seattle the game here.
Yeah. Remember that movie Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol? That was Sam Darnold. He went back to seeing ghosts. Like this was
Yep,
uh,
exactly.
and I don't want to listen, I'm not going to bag on the guy. He's been
No,
amazing all year.
yeah.
This was just a bad week, a fugly week. If you get 4 interceptions, that's fugly. And there was a lot to go around. Like I was thinking about giving this to the Falcons, but again, that was more about Bryce Young playing the greatest game he's ever played in his life. So,
Yeah.
but they also lost 5 straight. But when I talk, could have gave it to the Vikings, right? JJ McCarthy for 3 quarters of that game against the Bears, he was awful, but
Mhm.
he put them in a position to win, and their special teams kind of let them down at the end there. But again, this is about, but nobody's expecting a lot of the Vikings and the Falcons
Exactly.
where the NFC, we talk about the AFC West. The NFC West is just as competitive, and there's just as much to lose in that division. And now you have a team in the Seahawks that everybody was high on for the last few weeks, and then you come out and you do this, Sam Darnold again.
Mhm.
This is not total regression. I'm not nearly as panicky about the Seahawks as I am with the Chargers. The only
Yeah.
reason, and this was my bad, like I think the Chargers had a worse week. It was just I only flipped it because me and you were kind of the same, and I didn't want to go back and forth on it. But um the irony is the team that you're losing to is coached by on the defensive side by Chris Shula, who Sam Darnold is 0-3 against.
Mhm.
And in those 3 games has 5 interceptions and 12 sacks. So against every other defensive coordinator, he's 21-4. So again, when these things start to matter, when you get these teams in the same division that could play each other, especially these divisions that are going to have 2 or 3 playoff teams, that matters playoff time. And so Brock Purdy came back with the Niners, looks pretty good.
Yep.
So, but I'm fully expecting the Seahawks and the Rams to make it out of that into the playoffs. But so if that's the case, then Sam Darnold has a lot to learn because he's going to see more of the same. It's not just going to fix itself just because it's playoff time. Uh, and again, their entire season ascending to NFC title contender was predicated on Darnold being like the Viking Sam Darnold, not the Jet Sam Darnold. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that this was just a bad game and not a kind of regression back to that. Sam Darnold doesn't strike me as the type of person to like get rattled like that and lose
No.
confidence over a bad game.
No,
But
it is truly just one game. Hey, but
yeah,
hey, next week will certainly be the telling factor for sure.
yeah. And on top of that, and it wasn't like the Chargers like they got blown out. They actually had a chance to at least win the game, just the kicker wide right. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
uh, we
61
say
yards though, right? I mean, like,
yeah, I know in Seattle, right? It's windy and
yeah.
shit. So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, put them in
We
a
saw
better
some
spot.
missed field
60.
goals at MetLife too.
I
It
don't
is what
know.
it is, you know?
I've seen the Jacksonville kicker kick it 68 yards and Dallas kicker kick it 70. I mean, they
Yeah.
changed the balls. It's easy. It's easier now for
Yeah, I
certain
was gonna
goals.
say, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
So
every
there's
year there's a record breaking field goal, you know?
yeah. So yeah, someone's gonna hit that 70-yarder in probably the playoffs. Uh imagine Matt Prater for the Bills winning the Super Bowl on a 70-yard record breaking kick. Put it in the
That
books.
would erase all your field goal history when it comes down to Super
I know.
Bowls. So
Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. Um, so moving off of that, I think we got it all.
we did.
Moving off of that, another bad loss, which I think we would have put in that segment if we weren't dedicating a segment to its own. But
Yeah.
a team in high esteem deserves its own slot. The
Yes.
Kansas City Chiefs losing
Yep.
to the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Kansas City sitting at 500, not where we thought they'd be.
Sitting at 500 going into week 12. Like
Yes.
that's yeah. And first off, before we start this,
Mhm.
Denver, city, team, community. Jerm and I owe you an apology because it was not too long ago, some say less than a week, that we were here calling you frauds. And I have to tell you, watching that game against the Chiefs on Sunday, I picked up my phone, I texted Jerm, we owe them an apology because it wasn't, you were talking about how you win. Denver had complete control of that game through and through, and they erased any shred of criticism that I had last week, thinking that they were frauds. Now, it could have just been a really good game. They can go back and be frauds all they want. But as I stand right now, I'm sorry. I did not know. I was not aware that you were going to prove me wrong so very quickly. So, with that being said, leads us to this segment of, are the Chiefs going to miss the playoffs?
Yeah.
And Jerm, I don't know about you, because I'm looking at if the playoffs started today, what
Mhm.
this playoff picture looks like. And then you add on the fact of what the remaining schedules look like for each individual team. And I got to be honest with you, there's a really good chance they're going to miss the playoffs this year.
So I also looked at their schedule. So I think in the AFC, I think you and I agree when you're looking at
Yeah.
the schedules, or at least the teams that are involved, minimum 10 wins. I
Yeah.
don't think 9-8, 9-8 is gonna do it here.
Nope.
Like, just to even have a chance, you have to hit 10 wins. You have to sweep now. Now, granted, you're gonna be at home, but you're gonna have to sweep the rest of your division games at least.
Yeah.
And what hurts you is, and then you have a game coming up against the Colts, which I think is the next game for the Chiefs, if I'm not mistaken. But the loss to the Jags, who are in the playoffs, the loss to the Bills, who will be in the playoffs. So you have 7 games left. You basically have a 3-game margin of error, and that's only to sniff those games. So in reality, you probably only have a 2-game margin of error to be, I'm looking at the schedule. There's 2 losses there, 100%. There's at least 2. In reality, if I'm being nice about it, if I'm being realistic about it, I do see 3 losses. And I think those 3 losses are the ones that are going to get them. So the Chiefs have a lot of issues to work out. There's a couple of reasons for this. I don't think that aura, Damian Woody said this on ESPN earlier, that aura of the Chiefs of, holy shit, like, we can't let it get close, we can't let it do this, that's gone now. I don't think anybody's scared of Patrick Mahomes. I got called a hater earlier. I think I got called a hater last season when I said Patrick Mahomes was gifted and walked into an excellent situation that I shouldn't say any, because he is special. He's a good quarter. He's great. But
Yeah.
it wasn't like he was like Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson that kind of had to drag bits and parts, right? Like, he didn't have to build it in a cave with a box of scraps. He's Tony Stark. Like, he walked in with the Iron Man suit already. You know what I mean? Now he's actually having to carry the team. He actually has to. He doesn't have this big name receivers. Travis Kelce, hey man, too many jet setting trips with Taylor Swift, maybe, or is it just age? I don't know.
I just think, I think the dynasty is wear and tear at this point. I agree with you. I think they don't have the consistent run game. They don't have the weapons like they would usually have in years past. There's some lapse in defense too. I think this season is just showing them that, don't get me wrong, what they've done so far, dynasty worthy, but it's, we're coming to an age now, and I think we're seeing this where it, like when the Pats every year was just like, not if the Pats will make the playoffs, it's when they will clinch the playoffs. And I think that's how we felt about the Chiefs for a while too. And they've had some unexpected losses this year that have put them in this situation as well. So I completely understand what you're saying. I just think we can't sit here and dog on Patrick Mahomes too much. He is a very gifted quarterback.
Yeah.
I just think it's getting to that time. It's kind of that sunset of what the Chiefs dynasty is. Who knows? Maybe next year they'll bounce back. But I mean, dude, 5-5 right now going into week 12. You mentioned it with the schedule. Colts next week. That's going to be a tough game. And then they're on a short week in Dallas on Thanksgiving. As bad as the Cowboys are, I almost seen that being a very close game, you know?
I do know. The other thing that sticks out to me is they are 0-5 in one-score games now this season.
Oh,
Worst record in the league in that category.
yeah.
Which is ironic, Bert, because last year 12-0 in those little coin flip games that they used to play. That was the whole, man, the refs really know how to give them the exact call, the exact whistle when they need it. Which is just an interesting tidbit that it's not like closer. It's literally, you literally got all those games last year, and this year you're not winning those one-score games.
Yeah.
Also, the Broncos defense, you were 1-4 in the red zone, not going to get it done.
Yeah.
On top of Patrick Mahomes' red zone interception, not going to get it done. Jawan Taylor, literally game-causing penalties. I think he leads the league in penalties since 2023. Just when you're losing a game with just boneheaded, high-leverage mistakes, that's, I hate to say it, it's not bad luck. It's bad coaching. It's no discipline. And that's odd. It's weird to say that about Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs. It's jarring to see.
It's almost as if the frustrations from the Super Bowl last year certainly have like carried over somehow through offseason, through camp into this year as well. We've seen visible frustration on the sidelines of the Kansas City Chiefs for weeks now. Yeah. But I think as it stands right now, I think it's safe to say your division winners, I will say Broncos, Colts for sure. The Steelers might be the only one that's up in the air. I think I want to say the Patriots.
Yeah.
But there's a chance that the Bills could sneak back up. So I think it's safe to say that no matter what, we're going to see Pats and the Bills. Chargers will bounce back. And I mean, do the Jags finish ahead of the Chiefs?
Well, if the Jags and the Chiefs end up with the same record, then 100%, obviously it'll be the Jags. Which is why I think when I'm looking at the AFC playoff picture now, the only thing I think would be flipped, the only thing I could see realistically happening is if Aaron Rodgers really is as hurt as he is. I do see the Ravens sneaking in there. I feel more like as it stands, the Ravens and the Chiefs would miss the playoffs, right? If you had to pick one of those two teams to make it, I think most people would say the Ravens, like just because their path is easier because all they have to do is win the division, and they're only one game behind the Steelers. So I think the Steelers will get knocked out of the playoffs. Ravens will win that division. So then it's down to the Chiefs, the Texans. The Chiefs and Texans who are 5-5. I think the Jags
play each other coming up too,
and they play each other. So that'll be it, right? Like if the Texans win that game, they'll probably sneak into that Steelers. And listen, there's a chance the Steelers may just be the wild card too. Like I'm not. The Steelers are 6-4. I don't want to put it all like they're just going to fall off the face of the earth, but you know, it'll get tricky, man. It'll get tricky. Like math may be the Chiefs' biggest downfall here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, I agree. I think the Patriots and the Bills. Let's say the Patriots keep it. The Bills are going to be the wild card team. The Bills are the number one wild card team right now. We're the 5th seed. Then you have the Steelers, who are the 4th seed. You know, you flip the Ravens with them, and then everybody just moves up. That'll make the Chargers the 5th team, the Jags the 6th team, and the Steelers the 7th team. So unless the Chiefs go on some crazy run, and the Steelers or the Jags or the Chargers just completely fall off, I don't know, man. Like there's 7 games left. There's a lot of football. It's just if I'm basing it on what I'm seeing right now, I don't know. I mean, I probably give the Chiefs a 50-50 shot at it. And the only team I can see them kind of taking over from them is probably the Steelers. And that's just because of the uncertainty with Aaron Rodgers. That's the best I got for them on that.
Yeah.
All right, Bert, some controversy with some of these teams. We have the Bears at 7-3.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, winning not because of the play of their quarterback or their offense, even though they're not playing bad. This is not but then you have, and then you have the Packers, whose defense is amazing, and they're winning games off the strength of, even though their offense isn't exactly what we thought it would be.
Nope.
And then, of course, the king of that mountain, the Philadelphia Eagles, who just beat the Lions last night under some strange and spooky circumstances, I may add. And their circus seemingly revolving around just, hey, our offense ain't where it's supposed to be. And I think any self-respecting football fan, even the delusional CTE-ridden, brain-rotted Eagles fans can see the offense isn't good. It's not. And they're boring. And as you can see, they benefit from some calls. And before we get into the ugly wins team, you Eagles fans that are complaining about the false start call. Did you see this when Jalen got called for tapping the dude because he said, should have been neutral zone infraction? For as many false starts you've gotten away with all season, respectfully, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear that shit. Dog, nobody wants to hear that. You have gotten away with so much bullshit all season with this stupid tush-push play, with some of these ghost penalty calls. A.J. Brown just got one. It was clearly offensive pass interference. And again, nothing was to suggest that maybe Jared Goff, because the Eagles defense, once again, heroes. They had the capes on. The only thing worth a damn in Philly is the Eagles defense. Was there a chance that Jared Goff would have went 90 yards, 80 yards, whatever it was? I don't know. The point is, we will never find out. We won't find out. The fact that we were robbed a chance, even if it was a 1% chance, we must take that as an absolute certainty. And we were robbed of that because the Eagles, once again, got bailed out by some divine intervention when it comes to the refs. And to hear them complain about the one or two calls that didn't go their way when they've benefited from mad calls over the course of this season and last, just shut up. Nobody wants to hear that shit from you.
I mean, look, we see it with all fan bases. I understand the frustration, though. When you're 8-2, it's like, why are we complaining here? But I mean, hey, it is what it is.
And listen, you're 8-2, but here's the thing, with a lot of these teams, winning ugly is a term that, for me, sounds more like a Band-Aid. It's like, we win, but we win ugly. It's okay. I don't like that. Should we be trusting teams, specifically when it comes to playoff teams, that consistently run on the mantra of it's okay to win ugly? Like, is that a sustainable model for you? Do you trust any of these teams when it comes to specifically playoff time, when it comes to like winning ugly? What do you think about that?
No, I don't think anybody should set out to win ugly. I think that's something that happens when things aren't going the right way and you're scrapping to get things done, right? I think it's something you take week in and week out if it's the last resort, but I don't think you go into the week saying, hey, you know what? We win ugly. That's what our identity is. I think you should look to always dominate. Now, with that being said, I'm a Giant fan. So a lot of the wins we've had have been scrappy wins and ugly wins. And that includes our Super Bowl runs too in recent years. So I understand that this saying, a win is a win, holds true 100%. It's just not something that I want to hear as a fan base saying, hey, we just win ugly. It's just what we do, because that shows we're able to get it done without intending to get it done. Like, we're able to dig in and scrap through it with not a consistent game plan in play. 。 . 。 . 。 . . 。 . 。 . . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . . 。 . . . . . . . . . . 。 . . 。 . .
. . . . . . .. .. .. .. .........................................................................................................
。
Yeah, specifically the win ugly thing for me is I can't trust it completely because there are certain circumstances that don't lend to, like, for example,
Mm-hmm.
the Bears point differential this season is -6. That doesn't scream, hey, we know how to eke out tough gritty victories. That's luck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I look at points for, points against, right? The Eagles are not the best team for points for or against, but they're somehow 7-3. That now their points against, like, they score a lot of points, and so this is less about the Eagles because I do think they're a good team that has a lot of holes that people just refuse to acknowledge for whatever the reason is. But in the
Yeah.
case of the Bears, you talk about, again, Bears fans want to play the result. They'll say, "Hey, we won. Who cares? Like, a win's a win. We're 8-2. You're not going to make us feel bad about having having an 8-2 record. Now I'm going to make you feel bad, or 8-3, whatever they are, 7-3, 8-3, whatever they are. I'm going to make you feel bad because, again, context matters in these conversations. You were losing this game. You should have lost to the Giants. Got lucky there. You should have lost to Jaden Daniels. You were losing to Jaden Daniels until he got hurt. That's a loss. You were losing to J.J. McCarthy, who's been a 2-pack of ass for the last 5. Now, again, he's had 5 starts. I keep forgetting he's missed an entire year. He's only had 5 starts. But he almost did it to you. He did it to you in the beginning of the year. And he almost did it to you again. And so, yeah, the Bears have a negative point differential of -79 points, and they're winning games. And that's yes. Okay, grit. You want to use words like grit? That's luck. Okay, I don't want to hear grit. It's luck. It's a few bad breaks. Yesterday or Sunday, special teams and a long kick. And you know what? A win is a win, but they're acting like, hey man, Super Bowl. Like, yeah, print the shirts is what these fans are doing.
Shit.
I said, "God, I mean, are you guys nuts? What do you think of Caleb Williams now?" I think he threw for 190 something yards and didn't score a single touchdown. So I think he just
Yeah.
threw the ball for nothing. That's what I think. I think that if it wasn't for that whoever returned that kick, he would have taken an L. That's what I think. I think he's just there for the ride. Point, simple, blank, period. These teams are just bad turnovers. A couple weeks ago when he threw that pass dangerously over the middle and his tight end was able to spin around triple coverage and just get open and find the exact spot where he could just run free. Luck. All of that is luck. That's not skill. I hate that stuff. And, you just can't rely on winning ugly in the times that it matters. And that's kind of my biggest beef about those teams. But yeah, the Eagles, real big problems. I mean, you have AJ Brown meeting with the
Yeah.
owner.
Ownership.
You're
Yeah.
telling me that saying winning cures all is bullshit. That's a lie. It's not a lie. Yes, the Eagles are winning. And AJ Brown senses this. It matters how they're winning. He knows that, at some point this will come to a head. Last year it was cool because Saquon was historically great and the team was
Mm-hmm.
great and the offense was rolling. This year, not rolling. Hey, Jalen Hurts, you got to throw the ball more. Look what happens when I said this weeks ago. Look what happens
Yeah.
when Jalen Brown throws the ball more. The offense isn't great at all.
Jalen Hurts.
Like, what did I say?
Jalen Brown.
Jalen Brown. I'm thinking AJ Brown, Jalen Brown.
Yeah.
They fused,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. AJ Brown sees this, and
Yeah.
so and you can see where he had more targets, and this week as opposed to the last few weeks. I think most targets he's had all year, but
Oh, there's
he
a frustration point. I mean, winning, to your point, like, yeah, winning cures all unless you have an ego. And that, I mean, that's obviously what it's about. I mean, and look, competitors are going to want to compete. And if he's not getting the targets or, the throws his way, I mean, he's going to have an issue with it, regardless of if they're winning or not, especially now that they've had success, right? They have that
Mhm.
Super Bowl win. So now it's going to be more about me instead of the team.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. See if their luck runs out. They're going to miss Lane Johnson for the next several weeks, so that is not going to help the passing game. So we'll see what they or the running game for that matter. So we'll see how the Eagles fare. Obviously, they have a huge lead in the division. They're going to make the playoffs, and everything's going to be okay. But it will be interesting to see how the AJ Brown situation morphs when the team is probably going to be a little bit worse offensively than they have been the last few weeks, with one of their best linemen being out for extended period of time.
Yeah.
All right, Bert, there's a lot of teams to choose from. Fill in the blank. The best team in the NFL is?
I'm sticking with the Colts. I am. I had a tough decision with this, but I really, and look, I get it. They don't even have the best record, but for me, it's about teams that consistently put points on the board. And that's what I have to go with. You can't win with 0 points. And the Colts are one of the few teams that can do both. They have a really strong defense, and honestly will be able to put points up there. So that's who I'm sticking with at the moment.
Shocking. I honestly thought you were going to complete the apology tour and say the Denver Broncos.
No, I still can't do it. I still can't.
I
will take back what I said about, I don't think they're fraudulent anymore,
Right.
but when looking at them among everybody else, I mean, I have to. And look, Jesus, Jonathan Taylor is just a beast. So
Yeah.
you're just gonna, what am I going to assume, that he's not going to produce when he comes back from his bye week? No, absolutely not. I think they're going to go right back to where they were, and they're just continuing to just put points up.
You think a lot of that is Daniel Jones, the quarterback? Like, they see like the bad turnover game, the one bad turnover game he had. Do you think a lot of people aren't going to give the Colts more credit than they deserve because it's Daniel Jones?
Yeah, I think that's still out there. But like, the thing is with, I mean, when you look at a team like the Colts, as much as we as a football culture want to sit there and focus on one star player, usually the individual under center, because, you have your Patrick Mahomes out there, your Josh Allen's out there, and so on. Like, for a well-oiled machine to be like the Colts offense, Daniel Jones has more than proven he's a guy that can keep it running. And if I have to remind everybody out there that Joe Flacco has a Super Bowl and so does Trent Dilfer, I mean, come on, you don't need to be a Hall of Fame elite quarterback to get a ring. All you have to do is just manage an offense and have a good defense. And I think that's what we're looking at with the Colts. They've consistently showed it week in and week out.
So even with the Broncos at a ridiculous 9-2, and to be fair, when we said fraudulent, we were talking in terms of the Pats, Colts, and Broncos. I don't think we were saying they were a bad team. We were just saying, of all those teams, which one feels like they're not going to be there at the end of the year. Now, either way, we were wrong, like based on Sunday. So it doesn't, I mean, it doesn't matter. But I don't want anybody like, we're sorry, Denver fans. We are sorry. We were wrong. However you want to.
We picked you to be the worst out of the ones that were 8-2 at the time, or 7-3.
Right. 7, 8-2, I believe at the time. But either way, whatever. The Denver's good. And as we just explained with the Eagles to a lesser degree, but like the Bears, that the records can be kind of a bit of a mirage. Like, wins and losses don't tell the full story of these teams. With that said, to me, the best team in the league right now is the most complete team, and that's the Los Angeles Rams. And there's some teams that are right there with them, but I watched that Rams team, and Bert, they got the juice. They got the juice right now. They do. And it's not, again, we get into like some of the nerd stats from the trolls in Mike Powers' basement, but they have like 100+ point differential. Their DVOA is tops in the league. That margin, that's not luck. That's not grit. That's top tier, not eking out wins teams that even have a better point differential than the 9-2 Broncos, who are at +65.
Yeah.
Their defense, again, without, you thought Aaron Donald would be out there. According to all the DVOA rankings, which is what I care about because it adjusts for, it basically says what the opponent is for each game situation. So the Rams defense is, by all the measurements, elite, top 5 in almost everything. And they're only allowing 17 points per game, which is second best in the entire league. Which is ironic because Kansas City's number 1. But Kansas City's 5-5. It's because of their offense. But anyway, their defense by far is better than any of the other, whoever you would consider top teams and I'm saying the 7+ win guys. And the Rams are miles ahead of them. On top of Sean McVay's offense, Matt Stafford, I don't know what's going on. The guy went to Germany and got some stem cells or did something.
Jesus.
They're averaging 27 points per game, so they can win the shootouts, they can win the close games. And even if I was comparing the Colts to the Rams, the difference would be the defense. The Rams defense is just better. So even if their offenses are like, even if you want to split hairs on the offense, because I think both the offenses are equally elite and pretty close in almost everything, it's the defense that's setting them apart. And the Rams, to me, with the NFC being the way it is, have a clear path to the Super Bowl. I think the Rams are going to be in the Super Bowl. That's how dominant. I think they're going to cruise to the Super Bowl, to be honest with you. So that's my best.
I mean, I don't completely disagree with you. I know certainly firsthand, you hear defense wins championships all the time. It's just, you have to have the offense behind it too. It's just just straight facts in itself. Yeah. So, I mean, regardless, I think it's just refreshing to see a whole new landscape in this playoff picture, and some new blood in there too.
Isn't it insane? To see the Chiefs out of the playoffs, the Ravens out, and to see the Broncos and the Colts and these teams,
I mean, we'd have to go back and call back to like our 2 early predictions and see, because I don't think anybody had this lineup from, division leaders to wild card. When you have the likes of, the Bills are in there, but I mean, the Ravens nowhere to be found. So it's crazy.
And even my Bills-Lions Super Bowl preseason prediction is in water, because right now the Lions, even at a 6 and whatever record, are out of the playoffs. So I obviously that can change, but I might have to change that to Bills-Rams. I don't know, because I still believe, Bert. I will believe until Josh Allen is, as long as Josh Allen is breathing oxygen, the Buffalo Bills have a chance. I mean, 6 touchdowns is insane. Do you have a game ball you want to give out?
I mean, MLB announced their MVP and going with Aaron Judge. I'm a Yankee fan. I'm a homer. Say what you want, but I'll give 2 then. I'll be fair to Shohei as well. Shohei's 4th MVP, and this is Aaron Judge's 3rd. And honestly, incredibly well-deserved. And look, I'm not going to sit here and throw shade at anybody else. I think Cal Raleigh had a fantastic season. Just wasn't as good as Aaron Judge's when you looked at the numbers side by side. So, that's why he had more first place votes and went with it. But don't take away from the season that, all the runners up had, to be completely honest with you. But man, what an MLB, what a season, what a finish too, with the World Series. But Shohei and Aaron Judge, 2 outstanding seasons once again. And I'm sure we're going to see them back in the running next year too.
Mine is going to Bucks superstar, NBA superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo. He did a little thing in the NBA, stepping in to make sure the Lakers rookie Adu Thero got his first game ball after some scumbag ref that looks like Scott Foster. That wasn't Scott Foster. Tried to take it away. They weren't letting the Lakers keep the game ball. It was his rookie. He scored his first points in the game. The Lakers won, I believe. And even though it was in Milwaukee, the referees and the staff were not giving up the ball.
Why is that? What is it so special about keeping the ball? Like,
no,
not for the rookie, but for the team. The Bucks.
I don't. The only thing I could think of is that it was the Bucks game balls. Like, it was like the Milwaukee Bucks supplied the balls for the game, and maybe they just
can't afford more.
Again, there's not a good reason, because I feel like I've seen that before, where the away team and these teams, each team for every NBA game has like 12 basketballs they bring, and they switch at every time out. They switch. If it gets too sweaty, they switch. But either way, Giannis walked after like 10 minutes of arguing. Giannis just walked up and took the ball out of the ref's hands and just gave it to Luka and said, "Hey, give it to your rookie." Hand it over. So, good on you, Giannis. That's good on you. That was awesome. Awesome for you. Bert, you got anything else for the people?
Nothing else for the people. Yeah, we'll be back next week with more shit talking for sure.
Yeah. Eagles fans, Bears fans, you better unite against me, because I am on that ass if you guys lose a game.